Hello, friends. This week we talk on a few topics about leadership. And today's topic is about team building and how leaders can facilitate it and really build strong teams. I'm sure we all agree, and there is no doubt in that teams are critical for the success of any organization. Whether it's a small project, whether it's a task, whether it's a large project, people are always going to work in teams. An individual may not be able to accomplish a lot of the things that an organization needs to get done. So, considering the importance of teams, one of the most critical and crucial capabilities of a leader is the ability to develop, manage, and constantly motivate teams, whether he creates them or whether he inherits them. But it is constantly to be motivated, and that is the key to the success of the organization. And let me tell you from personal experience that team building is no easy task. Okay? It's a tough task. Finding the right approach to team building, finding the right activities by which the team bonds together is very, very difficult. And especially because often these activities are beyond the scope of the normal work that every employee of the organization, every member of the organization has to perform. So these activities, when you do them, they naturally eat into the work schedules of all these employees, of all the team members. And very often, I have seen in the very few cases where I have worked with organizations on team building, very often I have seen that the leaders, and I don't blame them, they are not supposed to be gods, they don't know everything, but the leaders often do not understand the importance of team building and how to go about it. And they refrain from asking for professional help. And these at times, and in fact, every time I have been called in to help build a team, it has been when the team has become a challenge. Within the team, there are fights, there are arguments. It's not a congenial atmosphere. And that's when they call an outsider. But if you call an outsider right from the beginning, and there are many of us who do this, it would be of great help, because then he will help you to structure the activities so that it becomes a good way of doing things. Now, to build a team, a leader needs to understand certain basics. And the first and foremost he has to understand and remember is that a team cannot train and manage itself. Whether it's a cricket team, whether it's a football team, that is why they appoint managers who are even very often, no, I think most of the time, non-playing managers. But in organizations, commercial organizations that we normally refer to, the team leader is not a non-playing, but he is a participating leader and manager. And it's essential to remember that it is he who is going to train and manage the team. The team cannot set up its own systems. It cannot make systems which will not mess up, where they will not miss up, whether it is opportunities or tasks, and where they will fail to complete a task or an assignment properly within the right deadline. I think I've said this before, but let us accept the fact that unless you create an atmosphere where they can do so, the team does not care as much about the task or the project that you have given them as much as you do. And they will often not know how to react when they have a setback. And what will happen is that more often than not, a setback, if the team is not cohesive, leads to finger pointing, blaming, and scrabbles between the team. So you need a manager at all times. Okay. Now, when you want to talk of building big, great teams, there are certain things that every leader must be conscious of, must be aware of, and he must know what are some of the to-dos that he definitely needs to comply with. Often, in fact, not often, in every instance, I have been called in to do team building, and then all they talk of is an offsite. Offsite is not really just a team building exercise. In fact, it is less of a team building exercise, really speaking, because if you go to see the results of an offsite, where you indulge in, where you participate in networking, in playing games together that are team building games, what I have discovered personally over the years is that while these exercises, offsites, are superb and believe me, they are essential for bonding beyond work. But they really do not create a team building situation, because that bonding that happens is great as a social thing. But when it comes to work, the bonding that you create there is for the duration of the offsite, or at times even just for that one single game which they are playing together. So offsites is not always the best way to build team building. The best way to build teams, and I have done this for 2 companies where we have very successful and efficient teams, is to make team building process task oriented. By task oriented, I mean in the actual work that they are supposed to do on a regular routine basis within the organization. Okay. They will face challenges which you help them, which you guide them as a leader or as a consultant to overcome them in the right manner, with the right spirit, and achieve the right results. And it has to be a joint effort by every single member of the team. Now, to help them do this, you need to first identify the problem for them. Once you have identified, you need to help and join them. You cannot do it from sitting outside. You need to help and join them in fighting, in wrestling, and finding a solution to the complexities that arise as a part of the problem solving. And you need to jointly brainstorm with the entire team on how to proceed further, what to do next. Also, I have told people often, and I do believe in it, is that team building exercise needs to be an optional exercise and a continual one. And that is why if you make it task-oriented, it automatically becomes continual. And why do I say that it needs to be optional? Because as I just mentioned, it eats into the work schedule and therefore ends up with the team members either having to do overtime to stay late to complete their tasks or take work home. And in the worst case, maybe even missing a deadline. If this happens, trust me, that person is not interested in team building. He first wants to get his job done and go back to his family. And therefore, make team building a natural process. What I also mean by a natural process is not only about the offsites, but do not create staged events. I have seen this being done in one case where they stage an event and give false tasks out with the idea of generating team building. And in one of the cases, it backfired very badly because the team started mistrusting the leader, saying that he will give us phony tasks to get his objective, which is not what you were trying to do. Okay, so you may need to make it without creating phony tasks with the actual tasks that they have on hand. And within those daily tasks, you need to find opportunities, instances that can be used and demonstrate team building using those factual instances and move ahead. Having said this, let us look at some general pointers that a leader needs to remember and practice when building a team. I think the first thing that is very important, and this goes a long way to building teams, is don't distribute titles just for the heck of it. If you distribute titles, before doing that, I think what you need to do is to set clear work expectations from each team member. And if you have done this, then that title that you give him will have to be in sync with the expectations of the work you expect from that person. Okay, this is a crucial factor, and this is very helpful in leading to the team success. As I said, no team or no team member is going to care as much about your project as you do. So you need to give them the reason. You need to convince them that this project is great for the organization, it is great for you, and it is great for every one of the team members. So you need to give them reason to care and be passionate about the project or the task as much as you are, and no less. You need to define a compelling and clearly articulated and defined direction for the team. And you need to establish a strong and robust structure from outside as well as from within the team. You need to make sure that you create a supportive mentality between you and the team, as well as between every team member, so that they will collaborate, work together as a team, and support each other. You need to clearly define the mindset that you as the leader wish to follow, the culture you need to follow within the organization. And every team member must strive, not only strive, must make sure that they cultivate it within themselves. You need to facilitate what I call the creation of the right chemistry. We always talk of chemistry between lovers, but trust me, the chemistry between teams is just as important. So at the end of the day, just like two lovers or a couple need to work together to make sure that the family flourishes, the team, as many members are there, need to work together to make sure that the organization flourishes. And what are some of the components of this chemistry that you must inculcate? The first is mutual respect, both from you to the team, from the team to you, and within each and every team member that is there. And just like mutual respect between all these people, they must have a collaborative attitude. And they must have mutual confidence in each other's abilities. The team must practice and prioritize the organizational goals. And the chemistry you need to create is that as a team, their gut has to say, go for it, go for the win, and nothing less. As a leader, you need to walk the talk. I think we've said this often enough in various episodes. You need to show them how it is done, not just the task, but even the behavior towards each and every one of you. You need to cultivate trust. Again, all through you and the team and you, and one-to-one. You need to specify the requirements very clearly. And you need to give constructive feedback with support as required on their skills, so training if required, on their performance, support in completing a task if required, and on the task itself that is there. Some people may be taking more time to understand the task. Be patient, but explain it clearly. Only then will you be able to perform clearly. Okay. I think one of the important things which we very often do not see or encourage is to have well-planned, result-oriented meetings or brainstorming sessions with the team. You need to create an atmosphere in the meeting where every team member can voice their opinion and comment freely without having the fear of facing any kind of adverse consequences. As a leader, you need to check in on the team. Not only the team as a whole, but check in with one-on-ones with every member of the team. You need to find time for that. Busyness is no excuse for this. You need to monitor the progress of every team member. Only then will the one-on-ones be really fruitful. And you need to be there when they need your help, they need your guidance, or they need training. Sheer collaboration. When you see two or more team members collaborating without your having to interfere, cheer. Cheer for yourself also, because you have made a really great team. Recognize dedication. All the team members, when they demonstrate unwavering dedication, make sure that you recognize it and applaud it. So appreciation for work well done. And that's why you need to monitor the progress. You don't expect them to come and tell you, I did this very well. You need to find out, recognize that they did something well and appreciate it. Show appreciation even for ideas, even if they don't work out, because he took the initiative of trying something different. And maybe if he tries 10 different things, one will succeed. But that one is going to give you a walkover all the 9 other failures. Celebrate wins. We've said this before again. Okay, even small ones. Because wins, when celebrated, give him the boost to get and go for more wins. You need to find moments to let your team chill. Yeah, maybe once in a way, go with the team outside where you are not the boss. You're one of them, and chill. Let the team chill, you chill with them. So to sum up, remember that teams, their performance is what is going to let you succeed. And in this case, success starts at the top with you as the leader. The task of building a solid and successful team is not an easy one. I had warned you in the beginning. I am warning you again before I end. It is immensely challenging and at times very, very frustrating. So get outside help if required. As I said, you're a leader, not God. You're not expected to know everything. I'm sure the organization realizes it and will permit you the luxury of getting help. But at the end of the day, no matter what, you need to remember that a great team is essential to the organization's success, okay, to your own success as the leader, and to the success of every single member of the team. So only when the team succeeds does everything that the team represent, the company, the leader, and themselves succeed. So please go ahead, make strong teams, take help when required, and trust me, strong teams are going to get you multitude benefits and make your organization grow and succeed exponentially. Good evening. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the talk. We will connect sometime later.